Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. This time I thought I would try something different since it's Halloween. I figured I would make a countdown of my all-time 5 favorite Friday the 13th movies. I mean, they're all great in their own right. I mean, really, but I just want to make a video presenting my top 5. And it might not be your top 5, but it's my top 5. If you don't care about my top 5, or you think this video sucks, go fuck yourself. Without any more delay, here goes my top 5 favorite Friday the 13th movies of all time. Now, my number 5, I don't know if everybody would agree with it. It's my least favorite of the 5 I chose, but I still love it. I mean, just listen to it. It's got such a great soundtrack. I love so many songs from this movie. And I know you can say, hey, but he never gets to Manhattan until the end. Spoiler alert if you didn't know. The movie takes place on a ship. Had some great kills, like this one right here. I mean, he kills the guy with a harpoon gun. I mean, it's cool. And, it's vintage Jason, and Kane Hodder is my favorite Jason actor. He played Jason in 7, 8, 9, and Jason X, of course. And, I don't know, I just really love this movie. It's like I said, there's 4 that I like better than this one, but, I mean, this one is definitely up there. Some really good kills. The movie has Kelly Hu, I mean, she couldn't have been in very many movies before this, or TV shows before this, so she's great. So, that's what I pick is, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I mean, it's cheesy, but it does have one of my favorite scenes from a Jason movie. And when he's walking through Times Square, this is great. I mean, he could kill all 4 of those guys standing there, but he doesn't after he kicks the boombox and they get pissed off. I mean, it's great. My number 4 pick is another one by Paramount. I really love the love that it seems Paramount Pictures shows to the Jason franchise. His body was never recovered from the lake after he drowned. So, I had to choose this one. Like I said, it's my 4th favorite one. And I really like it a lot because it explores more of the lore of Jason, more backstory. So I chose Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. Great soundtrack, great characters, and it is the first appearance of Tommy Jarvis as a young boy, played by Corey Feldman. Some great classic kills, a little bit of, 80s cheese, or 70s, whenever it was released, I forget, but I'm more a fan of Corey Feldman when he's played by Tom Matthews in Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives, but Corey Feldman here does a great job. I love this movie, the soundtrack, the setting, everything. And like I said, it has really good kills. And I really like it a lot because it's another movie where Jason wears that iconic hockey mask. And so that's why I chose this Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. It's just great. I mean...
Screw you, Paul.
Alright, the next movie on my list is another one from Paramount Pictures. It's sad how once New Line took over, they started fucking them up, like Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell. But my number 3 is the only 3D Friday the 13th movie, Friday the 13th Part 3. Now, maybe back then the 3D was impressive. I mean, watching it now with those blue and red glasses, not really that good. But the main character in this movie is great. This is Chris. And this is also the first movie where we're introduced to Shelly, who has already made his appearance in Friday the 13th, the game. And he's a pretty funny character. I like the setting with the old like barn, and then the bikers in the movie are really good. The stoners. And you can tell like she just reached right there. That was made for the 3D.
My whole world.
And it's a great movie. Jason can still run in this movie, which I'm not a fan of. I'm a fan of the slower Jason. There's some great kills. Look, that looks pretty decent in 3D when he sticks that out. And it's just a good movie. And that's why I rated it my number 3. I mean, it's got funny parts, like I said, the interaction with these bikers. And here's another part that was made for 3D. They give Jason a little more backstory, like when Chris, the main character, is talking about him.
Hey, you better watch out with that thing.
And it's just really good. So there's really good kills and everything, and so that's why, I'm a big fan of Friday the 13th part. The only thing I didn't like about this movie is when Chris is talking about him in this scene right here, it's almost like they're trying to play it up like he's a rapist. I didn't like that. He's a ruthless killer. He should have killed her in the woods when she was a kid. Now this next movie is one that I've watched probably the second most amount of times out of the Friday the 13th, besides my part 1, of course. I love this one. It's another great one from Paramount. Kane Hodder plays Jason, which he is the best Jason ever. His mannerisms, the way he walks, everything.
People forget. He's down there.
And, a lot of people don't like this one, but I love this one. And the one I picked, if you couldn't tell by the screen already, is Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. And a lot of people don't like it because it's it's about this girl Tina Shepard who has powers like Carrie, where she can move stuff with her mind. And I admit it's kind of cheesy. I mean, it's kind of dumb. Like, come on, but it's a good movie. I love it. I really love the interactions between her and that asshole Dr. Cruz, and the way she brings Jason back to life right here is just so great. I love it. And this movie had a lot of good kills in it, and I really wish we would have got the original cut of the movie, because I watched some deleted scenes, and this movie was so much gorier until it was basically butchered by the MPAA, who wanted to give this movie an X rating because of the amount of gore they wanted to put in the movie. And in my opinion, out of all the Jasons, this is the best looking Jason. He looks so awesome in his torn up black coverall, and his clothes are all ripped up like right here, and he's got the chain around his neck. Part of his mask is broken, and he part of his back is rotted out, like you could see the back of his rib cage. I mean, it's just so cool. The look, the soundtrack is really good. I mean, this girl, that's one of the best screams out of any of the Friday the 13th movies. I love Maddie in this movie. Kind of bummed me out when she got killed. But, I mean, it was a good kill. And like I said, this is that stuff with her being able to move stuff with her mind. Kind of dumb, but, I mean, to me it fit the movie nicely. And, I mean, this is Kane Hodder at his best right here, in my opinion. Okay, last but not least, my number 1 all-time favorite movie is another Paramount movie, of course, and if you couldn't guess which one it is, I mean, to me it's the most iconic one to me that I watched when I was a kid. And I mean, it's just great. Soundtrack, everything perfect. Not as gory as I was hoping it would be, but I mean, it's part 6, Jason Lives. I love this movie. We see the return of Tommy Jarvis this is the 3rd movie this character is in, and he is just so great, played by Tom Matthews, who's also in Return of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead Part 2. And it also has another good character, Megan, played by Jennifer Cook. She is great in this movie. Sadly, Jason in this movie is not Kane Hodder. It's C.J. Graham. He does a good enough job. He's no Kane Hodder. This movie had everything. It had comedy. Of course, you know, it showed a little nudity like all the Jason movies do. The soundtrack is great. The setting, even though they changed the name to Camp Forest Green, it'll always be Camp Crystal Lake. And, I mean, even the supporting characters, Quartz good, Sissy, which is this girl right here. And great kills. You could tell they were censored. I've seen, you know, some deleted scenes from this movie. And, I mean, it was supposed to be a lot gorier, just like New Blood. I mean, this is one of the coolest kills right here. And, I mean, this is one of the greatest songs from the soundtrack. And it's just so good, and I believe it's the only Friday the 13th that has a bunch of kids in it. And like I said, here we go with more of the good soundtrack. It's so good. I just love this movie. Cannot say enough good stuff about this movie. My all-time favorite. You know, it came out in 1986, and it's just so great. And, you know, on IMDb, it's got a 5.9 out of 10, which I don't understand. I love this movie. I could watch this movie over and over and over and over, and this is one of the most iconic scenes out of any Jason movie to me. Right here with Megan. See the kids run? Right here. She runs towards the cabin, and he calls Jason. And when Jason busts through that door, oh my god. I mean, I love that part every time. When he yells Jason's name and Jason busts through that door, oh my god. A great movie, awesome. Thanks for watching.